Welcome, beautiful yogis. So today we are going to stay quite grounded to the floor. Before we begin, just make sure that any smartwatches, any notifications are put on silent so that you can truly unwind for the entire practice. So let's begin lying down on our backs. Closing your eyes, just allow your body to shuffle a little side to side, wriggle your hips, shake your legs out a little, and shake out your arms. And then bring yourself into a nice, relaxed position. Take a nice, big, deep breath in through the nose. And slow breath out again through the nose. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Let your body melt onto your mat. Relax all the muscles in the face, in the shoulders, down your arms, down the entire length of your spine from neck to your tailbone, as you let your chest, your ribs, and your belly soften. And breathing in and breathing out. Let all and any tension, discomfort within and around your hips, so lower back, the pelvis, the groin region, maybe the tops of your thighs, also relax down. Again, slow breath in, slow breath out. And now let your legs soften all the way down to your feet and your toes. So as you're connecting more with your breath, any noises, any distractions around you become distant. Truly connecting to everything that is on the mat here in this present moment. Ground your energy, ground your physical body. Stay focused through your breath. Take 2 more deep breaths here. When you're ready, let's bring the arms up over the head, interlace your fingers, bring your legs together and flip the palms to face the back of the room or the back of your mat and point your toes. Really stretch it out here. I like to wriggle a little side to side. Again, this is optional. Just moving a little bit of the side of the body here. Aim is to lengthen the entire torso and arms and legs. Take 2 more breaths. Once you complete those 2 breaths, gently release those arms. Bring your knees towards your chest, hug them in. As with every practice, if something doesn't feel good for your body, adjust and modify. And you can always rest if need be. So you can rock side to side here as I am doing, or if it feels better just to hold the pose, you can just gently press that lower back into the mat as you relax the head and shoulders down. A few more breaths. If you notice your mind wandering off, bring it back gently to your breath and where you are. Let's come back to center. Lower your left foot onto the mat. Place the right shin over the left thigh and come into a figure of 4. So there's a couple of ways that you're going to do this next stretch. Option one is to press the right leg away, so opening up that hip and flexing your right foot. Or if it feels available to you and no stress, then bring the legs closer towards your chest and maybe grab the hold of your left hamstring. Once you're in position, tuck the chin in a little. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let the shoulders drop. Soften any tension in the face. And breathing in, breathing out. Keep in the back of your mind that all is well and your body is moving perfectly as it needs to. So pain and discomfort are your body's way of releasing what is there in the body, whether it's physical tension, whether it's emotional tension or mental tension. That discomfort is the body's way of letting you know that things need to be released. So yes, it can be uncomfortable to be feeling tight, but take it as your body's way of saying, hey, this is going on, let's stretch it out so it doesn't progress. Take your time. When you're ready, gently release back down. Maybe give the legs a bit of a shake out, and let's do the other side. So bring the left foot, well, depending which leg you started with, either gently press the knee away, so left foot or shin bone over that thigh. Pressing away is option one, or as option two, grab a hold the back of the leg. And relax those shoulders. Breathe. So regardless of where your legs are positioned, be mindful your lower back isn't arching. You want to press the lower back into the mat. Breathe. Take a few more breaths here. And gently release your position. Bring both feet down onto the mat. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Arms can rest anywhere, and gently sway your legs side to side. If you'd like, you can also turn your head away from your knees as you do this to help stretch your neck. Alternate at your own pace. Good. Let's do one more each direction. And once you're done, slowly come back to center. Keep your feet grounded. Just walk your feet about hip width apart. Not clasp. Grab a hold of your elbows and bring your arms all the way up over your head. Just shuffle the shoulders so there's some comfortability, if that's even a word. And again, pressing that lower back into the mat. Reaching the tailbone to the heels. And take a few more breaths here. Take one more breath. Once you're done, release those arms. Let's bring the knees to your chest, hug them in. If it feels good, rock side to side, or I should say, if that feels better for your back, rock side to side. Otherwise, tuck the chin in. We're gonna rock back and forwards 3 to 5 times. And we're gonna come onto all fours for your cat-cows. Spread your fingers wide. Knees somewhere underneath your hips. I like to have the toes tucked under. This allows me to stretch through the soles of the feet, but if you prefer, have your feet released. So breathing in, chin to sky, shoulders back. As you exhale, round your spine. Again, move in your own time. Breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, rounding. Now feel free to move in any which way that feels good. You might feel like you need to roll around a little bit to the side. Just make sure you're breathing with your movement. And this allows you to stay more grounded, more connected. Good. So what I often see in classes is a lot of people putting their weight mainly on the wrist and their fingers are very lightly on the floor. Really press your fingerprints onto the mat. This will over time strengthen the hands and the wrists. Three more rounds. Breathe. Once you complete your 3 rounds, let's come into any form of your child's pose. If you prefer a more hip opening variation, take your knees wider, keep the big toes touching, and let your head rest. If you feel tight in your back or in your thighs, and the head doesn't quite drop on the floor, don't force the body, just maybe bring the hands on top of each other, or maybe you'd like to stack the fists and let your head rest. Now my hips are quite back. You might need to bring your hips a little bit higher. So find your happy place in your child's pose and relaxing here. So knees wide if you'd like more of a hip opening. If you want more rounding of your back, and bring your knees a little bit closer together. Once you're in position, let everything go. Surrendering can feel quite foreign if you're not used to it. Many people work all day, and by the time they've hit the pillow, it's pure exhaustion and they just fall asleep. So allow your body to relax here. And when you're relaxed, you feel safe. So wherever you are in your relaxed state, just know that is perfect for you at this time. And the more you come back to the mat, the more you take slow, deep breaths, the more you come back into your body. And eventually that will feel like a calm, safe place to be. So if you struggle with falling asleep, child's pose can be of benefit. Again, depending on how comfortable you can get into this position and how ready you are in surrendering. Three more breaths. Nice. Let's slowly come up. Keep the chin tucked in. Roll the spine up. Either stay kneeling or come into a seated position. We're going to do some shoulder rolls. So let your arms hang down and work on the scapula. So shoulder rotation. Big circles. Keep the head upright as well and keep your chest open. Change directions and circling around. Now, if you hear joints clicking, it's okay. Right. Unless you're feeling pain, then make the circles smaller. Sorry, if you're feeling pain, make the circles smaller. Otherwise, you go as big of a range as possible. Good. Okay, so now let's grab the wrists, make a fist, spread them out. So working on that wrist mobility, and you might feel it all the way up through the forearms. Spread your fingers, scrunch them up. Let's do other direction. Spread, scrunch it up, spread, scrunch it up. Take a couple more breaths or a couple more circles around. And release, shake it out. Good. Okay, we're going to come into a seated position. Bring your legs out in front of you. Give them a good shake out to release. Good, so up, down, side to side. I like to wave the feet because it gets right into the hip movement, so that ball and socket joint. So up, down, side to side. Okay, I don't know the official name for this next pose, but it's one of my favorite poses to do. So we're going to take the legs about as wide as the mat, flip over onto the left side. So both your legs are about shoulder width apart. Walk the hands like you are in a licorice twist. So I call this a licorice twist. And lengthen the spine. What you'll notice is if you look back towards your legs, you release the torque. So we want to keep the torque nice and tight here. If your hands are here and that's where your mobility is, it's okay. If your hands are further out and that's where you feel, then that's okay as well. Sometimes the wrists get really fatigued. So if it feels more beneficial to you to be on maybe one elbow or both, again, just like a screw top, you want to keep that torque. With this one, what I've noticed with some women is they tend to stick their tailbones out. Again, that lordosis. Tuck it under and breathe. If any of you know the name of this pose, please let me know. I would be greatly appreciated of that. So, yeah, we can make up some names. Wouldn't be the first time, especially with yoga. So let's take 2 more breaths. And gently release, come out of that pose. Take your time, keep the legs at the same width. Flip now onto the right side of your buttock. So again, you're twisting up and around. Walk the hands as far around as you feel comfortable. Now, where you start might not be where you finish. What I mean by that is you might feel really tight in the first few breaths, and then as you continue to breathe, you feel things releasing and you're able to go deeper into the pose. And optional to stay up on your hands or drop down onto one forearm or both. Keeping your gaze somewhere towards the back of the mat. Be mindful of your tailbone and breathe. And with all poses, no matter the practice, if something gets overwhelming, you can always release and come out of the pose. Gently release, bring it back to center. Once you're done, let's come on to your back. Slowly hug those knees to your chest and head down. We're going to come into your happy baby next. Now, with this next pose, depending on your hip mobility and your back, option 1 is you take the knees wide, grab a hold of the shins where they meet the knees, and press the thighs down. You can rock side to side here or just hold the pose. So that's option 1. Option 2 is you take your feet a bit more to the sky, grab a hold of the back of the hamstrings, and again, either hold or rock side to side. And from there, similar position, either grab a hold of your shin bones, the ankles, the soles of the feet, or the big toes. So wherever you feel most comfortable, most benefit, and you're not straining to be in this position. Breathe. Often a favorite in class, as it helps to release the back tension, and we massage energetically as well as physically. Kidneys, the adrenal glands, so those meridian lines as well that connect to winter, the urinary system. Good. Few more breaths. So holding this pose for a long time, especially if your legs are up, you can start to feel your hands get fatigued. Hence why I say come into a position that works for you. And then as the hips open up, your position will shift and things become easier. Bring yourself back to center and gently release the arms and legs down. Just give them both a bit of a shake out to release. And then we're going to come into your final pose, Shavasana. So once you're lying down on your back, take a nice big deep breath in through the nose. Big sigh out, let it go. And do that one more time. Inhale fully. And let it go. Now feel free to stay here for the next few minutes as you ground and integrate your energy. Ground your physical body and connect all of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. Stay here for as long as you like. And always remember, you are a divine being of light. Shine it brightly. Be yourself authentically wherever you go and speak your truth. Until next time, thank you for joining me. Namaste.